It's time for us to see the headlines and make sense of some of the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. And to do justice to this on a Wednesday like this, I have lawyer Akeredolu here with me in the studio. Jide, good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And happy holidays. Although the holidays have ended.
Yeah, but I mean, nice one. Extended, from Saturday all the way to Tuesday.
I know, it's amazing. It's amazing.
But
we're all here working, but it's fine. The feeling, it's still good. All right, joining us on Zoom is also lawyer, public affairs analyst. Okay, I understand Tunji Abdulhamid is not there now, but will join us as we get along. So let's start from the studio. The Nation newspaper is where we begin. Let's end zoning suspense, Akeredolu tells APC leaders. Let's end zoning suspense, Akeredolu tells APC leaders. All right. This Day newspaper is next. Akeredolu to Buhari, it's Southerners' turn to produce next president. Akeredolu to Buhari, it's Southerners' turn to produce next president. Okay. The Punch newspaper says dumping rotational presidency will cause crisis. Akeredolu senators all are voicing out on this. Dumping rotational presidency will cause a crisis. Akeredolu senators are saying this. It's South's turn to produce president. Ondo governor warns APC and Akonde, Oshoba, Tinubu, Oshibajo, Amosun, others, and next Friday over other, some of the headlines there not really clear here, but it's all right. From there, let's go to Tribune. Tribune is next. It says a plot to jettison zoning. Akeredolu, Ndume, Kokori, Bamidele, others won the APC. Right? Akeredolu, Ndume, Kokori, Bamidele, others won the APC over plot to jettison zoning. This Nigeria is next, and it says 2023 general election, APC must zone president to South. Ondo Governor Akeredolu spits fire. Ndume said it will be injustice for North to retain power. Rotational presidency is constitutional, right? Senator Bamidele is, bringing his perspective to this here, right? This Nigeria. Leadership newspaper, 30 days to INEC deadline on flag bearers. Southern governors insist on power shift to South. 30 days to INEC deadline on flag bearers. Southern governors insist on power shift to South, all right? And Nigeria News Direct is next, and it says Southwest agenda, Akonde Oshoba to meet Tinubu, Oshibajo, other presidential aspirants. As Akeredolu insists power must shift to South. Southwest agenda, Akonde Oshoba to meet Tinubu, Oshibajo, other presidential aspirants. Okay, that's News Direct. From there, let's go to Blueprint newspaper. Akeredolu Opeyemi to APC leadership on 2023. Return presidency to South. Dow's raging restiveness. That's the Blueprint newspaper. Daily Times is next. 2023. It's South's turn to produce president. Akeredolu tells APC. Warns consequences may trail dumping of zoning. Asks party to make pronouncement now. Okay, that's a Daily Times there. Then Daily Independent says 2023 presidency, PDP governors kick as Atiku plans to retain power or retain Peter Obi as running mate. All right, PDP governors kick as Atiku plans to retain Peter Obi as running mate. Okay, that's a Daily Independent there. Okay, from there let's go to First News. UN Secretary General lands in Nigeria, interacts with repentant terrorists. All right, UN Secretary General lands in Nigeria. All right, that's he interacts with the repentant terrorists there. All right, that's the First News. From there, let's go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust newspaper, World Press Freedom Day. Nigerian journalists decry worsening conditions. All right, and 71 pressmen killed, 293 incarcerated in around worldwide. Right, that's in 1 year worldwide. Now, practitioners under surveillance in Nigeria, IPI, is saying this. All right, stick to ethics, governors tell the media. Okay, all right, that's Daily Trust. National economy, annual loss to cybercrime costs Nigeria firms 2.4 billion naira. This is the report bringing up this here now. Annual loss to cybercrime cost Nigeria or Nigerian firms 2.4 billion naira. Business Day says Nigeria earns twice more from gas than oil in the first quarter or quarter one of the year. Nigeria earns twice more from gas than oil. Okay. From there, let's go to the Guardian newspaper, which is the last we're looking at now. Intense jostle for market share as telcos delve into retail banking. Intense jostle for market share as telcos delve into retail banking. Okay. Now, we're going to look at this issue on the front page of most of the headlines today. I understand Tunji Abdulhamid is here now, and he'll be joining us to discuss all of this. Tunji Abdulhamid is joining us on Zoom. Tunji, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Basalogun. Good morning, Nigerians.
Great. You're welcome. Now let's look at this. Let's look at this story on most of the headlines here that talks about rotational presidency. Governor of Ondo State in a forum, addressing and speaking out, talked about the issue of the need at this critical time for the APC, the ruling party, to know that it's time for the South to produce the next president. Now, Jide, let me start with you on this. I wonder why it's so much of a big deal. And everybody's talking about, it's time to zone the presidency to the South. No, governors are insisting. No, it has to come to the South. Why is it a big deal? I thought this is supposed to be a no-brainer.
Yeah, firstly, it's not a constitutional provision. It's just a matter of convenience and convention that the parties have adopted. And it reflects what we have in the federal character policy of the country. We have the Federal Character Commission established by Section 153 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended. And the essence is to ensure that the public service reflects fairness in terms of linguist, ethnic, religious, or geographical representation. And that talks about fairness and justice. So if you bring that to the political arena now, there was an agreement that, okay, we rotate presidency so that no part of the country will complain of marginalization. And you recall that at a time, the South was crying foul of marginalization. But the president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, former president, had the opportunity of breaking that jinx of marginalization. And right now you can say that it has gone around the country, except that we have introduced a fresh thing now, which is the geopolitical zones. We used to have three major political regions in the country, South, West, and North. Now we have 6. And by and large, the northern side is now in authority. So you expect that...
Northwest.
No, that's what I'm saying now. Let's say North. Let's look at the macro picture.
All right.
And it is this time of the South. But I saw this coming towards 2019 election when the presidency and the party bigwigs were offering presidency to Southeast and Southwest at the same time. And I spoke out that you don't throw a big bone to 2 ferocious dogs at the same time. Let's know who exactly is having this. And that is what is playing out now. And recently when the APC had the convention, this rotationalism was adopted, which produced the chairman from the north. And now we are not clear. Even the South, they were planning to zone it to, is to the South. We are not sure whether it's to Southeast or Southwest. The president will be visiting Ebonyi State now. And now a candidate is coming out to say I'm representing the North. So the party is now saying, and Governor Akeredolu is the the chairman of the South Governors Forum, and the man is coming out to say within the party that come, we don't need this at this point. This suspense is too much. Let's know where we are going. And I have said it. I pray for APC to remain afloat, because I will not quickly run away from the caution of the president himself, who said, please stop this backstabbing so that you don't lose to the other party. So right now, we are on a slippery platform politically. And I foresee a situation where some are saying the North is not in a hurry to cede power to the South. So you will find a lot of formulas coming out. And I also want to advise the Southern politicians to put their house in order so that they don't end up stepping on banana peels. Because right now, like I said, this rotationalism is not constitutional. So, and when you talk about integrity in public relations, we say it means walking your talk. Do politicians walk their talk? And that's why you are seeing a lot of drama going on. But let there be justice, let there be fairness. When you promise, please keep your words.
Okay. On the headlines across Nigerian newspapers today, we have one of the stories that dominates the headlines today has to do with the issue of rotational presidency. The governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, is calling on the president, calling on the APC, calling on all those who matter to ensure that the presidency is rotated to the south. So this is the issue that we're talking about right now. And I have with me in the studio, Jide Ologun. He is a lawyer and one of our regular analysts on a day like this. And on Zoom, it's Tunji Abdulhamid, also a lawyer and one of our regular analysts as well. Tunji, I was going to come to you before the break. Now, here we are. I was asking Jide earlier, this rotational presidency, why is it a big deal when the gentleman, of course, Jide said it's not constitutional, but the understanding should be so firm and so clear that the moment he goes somewhere, he should go to the other place. Now, Nigeria, we know, is divided into two major, in fact, from before the amalgamation, the way it was, there was the North, there was the South, and then that shaped the way we run politics. And then there's also the breakage into geopolitical zones, which is like the micro, part of the North and micro part of the South. Why is it a big deal? Talk to us from your perspective.
Yeah, Mike, even though I think I can't hear you very well, but I think it's a big deal because there is no provision in our constitution regarding Sony or rotational presidency in this country. It's an agreement between parties, particularly the PDP. They were having a gentleman agreement within themselves as a party, and later probably just to say, look, for fairness, equity, and justice, we need to ensure that it goes around. Even though in PDP arrangement too, there was no any clear provision regarding whether it will go to southeast or not, or there will be micro-zoning or of such. So what we have today is not because of the zoning itself, it's because certain people want the power to come to their side, and they are trying to use our opportunity to say, look, to come fast and say, look, since there's an arrangement between a particular group, we can also benefit from that group. I think people were missing this point because people have now seen Sony as part of our constitution as if it's normal or as if it's a compulsory that we must so. As far as I'm concerned, as a lawyer, there is no provision in the constitution which requires Sony regarding elective position. I'm aware of federal character. Federal character has nothing to do with elective offices. That's what it applies to is the office that has to do with appointments. If you are appointing people, and that's why you see every state must have a minister. That is for the purpose of a federal character. And that's why when they want to appoint people for public service or civil service, they try to look at the catchment areas and the states so as to ensure that federal character is complied with. But in terms of elective position, I am not aware of any provision in the constitution which says that it must be rotated or it must be shown to a particular place. I think in as much as we don't have this provision in our constitution, it will not be compulsory for anybody to force anybody to zone. I think it should be a gentleman agreement as well between the parties to say, look, lobby and look for it and say, look, now that this particular region has done it this year, now that we are coming from this whole particular zone, let's get it to our side. It's not going to be about forcing people to say you must do it this way. It's about negotiation, it's about arrangement, it's about agreement, it's about understanding between themselves. So, and I don't see it as a national issue. It is a party issue, and the party has the right to decide whether or not it wants to zone or does not want to zone. It is their affair. It does not concern those who are not members of the party. It is their problem. I think the warning being given to the party by His Excellency Governor Akeredolu is to the fact that, look, if you don't zone to a particular side, it may affect our chance of winning the next election, and therefore we must think about it. And again, he was trying to also tell them that, look, let's quickly determine where this presidency will go to, so that other people who will not fall into that category will not be wasting their time or spending their money for that purposes. I think to that extent, I agree with him. That to the extent that, look, he must come to a particular place. It's not a law and it's not compulsory. It's an agreement. It should be an agreement. It should be an understanding between the parties. So as far as I'm concerned, I agree with the governor in that aspect, that he must go to a particular zone because a particular zone has done it. We call it democracy. Government of the people by the people. It is by your popularity. It is by canvassing for votes from the people. So when you canvass for votes from people and you are able to get it, whether you come, I think we shouldn't go beyond this. If you want to grow beyond this, it must be my turn. It must be your turn. We will be looking for people who have the capacity, who are the competent to do it. If you see ourselves as one front, in other words, we are talking about unity, and we see ourselves as one. We should not be talking about south, east, north, or whatever. You see, the way it's being handled these days, because when you talk about zone itself, when you talk about south, you talk about north. If you are talking in the north now, for example, North Central, I'm from North Central. We have never been president since 1999. But I can also say we have not been. It's not been fair to us. They should bring it to our side. The Northeast are clamoring for that. The Southeast are clamoring for that. Where will it go to? So in other words, as in the critical situation that we have now, as far as I'm concerned, we need somebody who has the capacity, who has the competency, who has knowledge, intelligent to deliver us wherever he comes from. I'm not bothered about that. I'm looking for a competent person who can handle the situation on ground now.
Okay. The point, Jide, let me bring it back to you in the studio. The point there is, it looks like from when we sit down and we're watching what's going on, it looks like the two major political parties, APC and PDP, are waiting. There's a game of waiting for each other. Let me see what they are going to do, and then we will, we'll wriggle this way. If they go that way, we'll go this way, and all of that. And then PDP is waiting for APC to see what they're going to do. APC is waiting for PDP to see because they are in the same dilemma at this time as it is.
Exactly, and I think PDP is doing more of the waiting because that is the opposition party planning to unseat the ruling party. And as far as I am concerned, this is simple. It's all a matter of sincerity. Let's go back to the North that is also scheming now to probably rezone it, retain the zoning. You've had 8 years. The 8 years are running out now. So what have you achieved? These are questions we should be asking. What have you achieved with the 8 years? I would have loved to be reading now that now, let's even assume that we want to be ethnic in approach, that the North is now the wealthiest region of Nigeria. You have 87% education rating. The gold deposit in Zamfara is now exported to 72 countries of the world. That we now have 10 refineries functioning in the North. But we are discussing poverty, discussing terrorism, discussing indebtedness,
out of school,
and we are still rotating. And that's where I tie myself with Barrister Abdulhamid. For a Jide Ologun, I'm not so bothered about zoning. We need resourceful leadership. We probably don't know what is going on in this country. I was reading, we spent about 1.6 trillion naira on food import. In Nigeria, that is food basket of the world. That we have these things. What is the main purpose of government, whether you rotate presidency or not? It's in section 14, subsection 2 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, that says that the security and the welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of government. How many senators out of the 109 senators can jump into his or her SUV and drive to his or her constituency without mobile policemen? That's how you measure leadership. You see, Donald Trump He's a New Yorker. Did New York get anything extra? I mean, he's American. You know. So I'm disturbed. And again, it's good for me. It is only reflecting that there is governance failure in Nigeria. And that is why we are now talking it must come to South, come to this one and that one. For me, and I have said it because in public relations, the 1978 Mexican statement says is the art and social science of monitoring trends and predicting their consequences. These parties now that are monitoring each other, we may come to a point in this country when an APC member, card carrier, is voting for a PDP candidate. People are going through hardship. So let's face that. Because it's now like the government of the powerful for the powerful and by the powerful. What is the need for the people? Where is the electricity? Where are the basic amenities? Where is the education? Where is the security? Students are still at home now, ASU on strike, and we are just politicking. So I want to, again, let me say this politically. APC should be careful. APC came together in 2013 with a bouquet of fragments of parties. And some people may want to sink APC. And that signal has been sent out. So right now, you need to do a lot of internal strategic moves to ensure that you are not thrown out of the window. Because as it is now, it's more about retaining power than enhancing the fortunes of this country. But we look forward to a new season of development for this country, of prosperity, of peace, of unity. And that is my concern.
All right, we have to leave it here now. Thank you so much, Akeredolu, for coming on the program.
Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Tunde Abdulhamid, thank you very much for your time and insight on the program as well.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
Great.
Thank you.